Today I am taking up the poem Mirror by Sylvia Plath. Now, a bit about the poet first. Sylvia Plath was born on 27th October 1932 and she passed away on 11th February 1963. She was an American poet, novelist, and a short story writer. She was one of the most dynamic and admired poets of the 20th century. By the time she took her life at the age of 30, Plath already had a following in the literary community. In the ensuing years, her works attracted the attention of a multitude of readers who saw in her singular verse an attempt to catalogue the despair, violent emotion, and obsession with death. In the New York Times Book Review, Joyce Carol Oates described Plath as one of the most celebrated and controversial of post-war poets writing in English. Now, intensely autobiographical, Plath's poems explore her own mental anguish, her troubled marriage to fellow poet Ted Hughes, her unresolved conflicts with her parents, her own vision of herself. Oates put it more simply when she wrote that Plath's best known poems, many of them written during the final turbulent weeks of her life, read as if they have been chiseled with a fine surgical instrument out of Arctic ice. Plath had inspired countless readers and influenced many poets since her death in 1963. Now, about this particular poem, this poem is written in free verse. The poem is written from the perspectives of two entities, a mirror and a lake, and the piece stands for the ideas of honesty, truth, and neutrality. Sylvia Plath wrote Mirror in 1961, shortly after having given birth to her first child. Written from the point of view of a personified mirror, the poem explores Plath's own fears regarding aging and death. The mirror insists that it objectively reflects the truth, a truth that greets the woman who looks in the mirror each day as a terrible reminder of her own mortality. She searches the mirror for an image that reflects the way she sees herself and feels inside, yet finds only an increasingly older woman staring back. Mirror was first published in the New Yorker in 1963 and later appeared in Crossing the Water, which was published posthumously. Now, it was during her undergraduate years that Plath began to suffer the symptoms of severe depression, and she was actually a patient of bipolar disorder. And in August of 1953, at the age of 20, she had once attempted committing suicide. She survived that attempt. Her experience of breakdown and recovery were later turned into a novel, the only novel she ever wrote, which was called The Bell Jar. Now, let's take up the text of the poem Mirror, stanza 1. I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. Now, the mirror tells us that it is silver in color and it is exact. Whatever it tells is true, it's honest. It has no preconceptions against anyone, no preconceived ideas. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately. Whatever comes in front of the mirror immediately takes it in. And whatever it shows, whatever it reflects, has nothing to do with love or dislike for the person who stands in front of it. I'm not cruel, only truthful. So the mirror says, I'm not cruel by nature, I'm just truthful, I'm honest. The eye of a little god, four-cornered. The mirror compares itself to what? The eye of a little god, which has four corners. And this one we find it's a metaphor, the mirror comparing itself to the eye of a god. Most of the time I meditate on the opposite wall. Most of the time the mirror is has nothing to do, no reflections to make, so it's looking at the opposite wall, and we are told about the opposite wall, it is pink with speckles. The opposite wall is pink in color. It's called small speckles on it. I have looked at it so long, I think it is part of my heart. So the mirror says, for such a long time I've been looking at that opposite wall that it seems to be a part of me, part of my existence, but it flickers. faces and darkness separate us over and over. And because people come in front of the mirror or maybe pass from in front of the mirror, the wall flickers from time to time. Sometimes faces separate the mirror and the wall, sometimes it is the darkness that separates the mirror and the wall. Now this, as I said, this particular stanza and the whole of the poem is basically written in free verse, and there is no rhyme scheme, which we can discuss here. Coming to stanza 2. Now the first stanza, the poet describes the mirror, describes itself as it is. The second stanza talks about a lake, the mirror as a lake. What does the mirror do? Now I am a lake, it acts as a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. There's a woman who is trying to find her identity in the reflection. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. And then what happens when she is not able to find her true self, her reality, her inner self in the mirror? She turns to those liars, the candle or the moon, the sources of light that she thinks must be lying to her but not showing her who she really is. The mirror watches the woman's back as she walks away and reflects it accurately. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. So the mirror reflects the back also. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of her hands. For being truthful, for being honest, the mirror is rewarded with what? Tears. The woman cries. And her hands, she wrings in agitation. Why? Because she is not able to find that real self in that mirror. I am important to her. The mirror realizes that it is important to the woman. She comes and goes. So she keeps on coming to the mirror at intervals. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. The darkness of the night is replaced by the woman's face in the morning for the mirror. In me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises towards her day after day like a terrible fish. So in the mirror the woman had lost a young girl she once was, and she knows very well that that young girl will never look back at her again, because it's gone now. Those times have gone. And metaphorically we can say that that young girl was drowned in the mirror. Why? Because here in this stanza we have the lake image. So anything disappearing to the lake, any person disappearing into the lake, will be drowning. Instead, as the days go by, she sees only the old woman. She has become approaching her like an awful fish. So in me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises towards her day after day like a terrible fish. So she is made to realize that she is aging. The themes basically that are taken up in this poem are of time, the passage of time, aging, and then mortality. Now if we talk about time, aging and mortality, we find that the poem describes a woman growing older and older in a mirror each day. It describes a personified mirror looking on as the woman's youth fades. The woman clearly resents getting older and losing her beauty and youth, two important social currencies for women living in a male-dominated society. The poem illustrates the anguish of aging as the woman confronts her mortality in the mirror. First stanza illustrates the objectivity of the mirror, we find, which is only capable of reflecting what it sees. It compares itself to what? The eye of a little god. It doesn't exist to flatter or insult, but only to reflect appearances truthfully. The woman, on the other hand, she experiences the mirror's objectivity as a pointed reminder of her own mortality. There's a disconnect between how she feels inside and the harsh reality of the mirror, and that highlights the horror and difficulty of confronting aging, because aging inevitably leads to death. Now that is what we call the idea of mortality. Then there's the theme of appearance and identity. While the poem is told from a personified mirror's point of view, it's really about the woman who sees herself in that mirror. This woman is preoccupied with her reflection, hoping to find in it what she really is, even though the mirror itself is objective. The woman looking at her reflection still cannot see herself in its image. This, the poem implies, is because people are so much more than what they look like. On the surface, mirror only reflects how things appear, not what they actually are. Um, the mirror is trustworthy. It's not cruel, it's only truthful, as it says about itself. The mirror's objectivity is only skin deep, reflecting just the surface of things. The poem metaphorically compares the woman looking in the mirror to a woman bending over a lake to see her own reflection. Now, when she searches for this image, she can't find what she really is. Um so it speaks of her longing to find out something important about herself, something the poem implies cannot be found in the mirror no matter how carefully she is looking. Although the woman searches the reaches of the lake like mirror, the fact remains that all she can see is the surface level reflection of herself. This implies that though the woman wants to discover something deeper about herself, appearances can only reveal so much. The mirror might present a seemingly objective representation of how the speaker looks, but it will never be able to reveal the whole truth about who she is as a person. There is much more to people than meets the eye. So, if you have any questions based on this poem, you can put it in the segment below and I shall try my best to answer them. Thank you.